To start off this video, I really didn't plan on making a video about this topic, but I had a lot of my friends, men and women, both asked me to talk about this topic. Now, by no means am I trying to force marriage. Being older, being more open minded, I understand that marriage is not a goal for a lot of people, and that's perfectly fine. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a fear, but I came to kind of realize that it's probably the unpleasant realization of the amount of commitment that you have to one person. There is a legit fear of divorce. I'm not gonna lie. There's a fear of uncertainty of feelings, the what ifs, people change, life happens, a whole bunch of stuff. But just you going through those things and trying to tackle them with your partner is something that it can kind of scare you a little bit. When it comes to like marriage and relationships, I always hear people talk about the generic things of relationship, right? The generic things of marriage. I never hear anybody mention grace. Give your partner grace, whether y'all are close to being married or married already. I see a lot of people hold grudges, man, in their marriages with their partner over little dumb stuff. Like failing to communicate things with your partner because you think they should automatically be understood because y'all been together so long. Come on now, man. That's childish and that's selfish. Being married now, I really understand that marriage is a partnership and a selfless game. There are going to be times where the support you're looking for is going to be all mental and emotional. You can have your finances set, but knowing how to balance mental well-being will greatly benefit you and your partner in the long run. Especially when you start to thinking about buying a house, moving, having kids. And once those things start to happen, you really start to understand how much really comes with those things. Oh shoot, this thing swing. But I know a lot of y'all are probably thinking, what does this young man know about marriage and why does he even care in today's generation? I'm not gonna lie, man, I was brought up around a lot of good marriages and that was something I always wanted. Just being young and being able to observe good marriages, that does good things to the mind. Granted, I was a kid, so I was only seeing things from the surface level. But as I got older and these examples that I had were willing to sit down and actually talk to me about things, I really understood the real and really understood the deep part of marriage, everything that really comes with it. And I can honestly say social media has done a number on relationships and marriages. But if you actually step outside and actually touch some grass, you'll start to see that a lot of things not adding up because you really start to notice how many people actually want marriage, how many people actually want to be with one person for the rest of their life, and how many people actually talk positive things about being married or wanting to be married one day. Now let's get to the real reason why y'all are here. Let's talk communication. There's a real high level of maturity that comes with this every single time. Every single time. And I'm going to tell you why. Because communication means nothing if you do not understand comprehension. There are going to be times where y'all don't see eye to eye. That's just how it is. But the balance is knowing that it's always you two versus situation. And let that pride go. Sometimes you're going to be wrong. You just got to man up or just woman up, whatever you got to do. You're going to be wrong sometimes. Just accept it and move on. But when you accept it, understand where you were wrong, understand why you were wrong. So if the same situation comes up again, you know how to handle it different. You know how to handle it better for you and your partner in the long run. All right, the sun messing me over, so I'm finna have to move. I had to do this part like 2 times. How you talk to your partner is equally important when it comes to communication. That's just how I am statement, that shit not gonna cut it in a marriage. I'm gonna just be honest. Now, you can be that way, just somewhere else. Because a partner who's down to properly communicate is not gonna deal with that. They're not gonna deal with that at all. Somebody that really wanna sit down, talk about situations, they're gonna wanna handle the situation right then and there. But that whole just, oh, that's how I am, I don't know how to do this and that's an excuse. Don't even bring that in there. And to be honest, man, somebody that really loves to communicate, you can't bring something to them like that. Because I'm going to be honest, you won't even make it to marriage with that person. They're going to cut you loose way before that. And another thing, man, we're grown. There's no reason to be yelling, to be cursing, to be purposely saying stuff that hurts your partner's feelings. Like, come on now. Being with someone who can stay calm during disagreements is such a blessing. It's so relieving. Developing a communication style that works for you and your partner every time a disagreement comes up will make these disagreements easier to handle every time. You won't shy away from them because you know you and your partner can sit down, talk about things maturely, and y'all can knock it out the way and move on. It almost brings a peace of mind knowing that you have a partner that can properly communicate every time a situation arises. Thus, making these disagreements and these hard situations easier to approach every single time. All right, now let's talk children. You hear the stories about other people, but it really doesn't hit you until you have a kid yourself. Yeah, talk about a life-changing event that laughs at your amount of preparation. Yeah, it's having a kid. During this time, get ready to learn new things about your partner and definitely get ready to learn new things about yourself. Be prepared to witness the effects of upbringing or the effects of childhood trauma start to be revealed once you have that kid. And especially if you're trying to break generational curses or stop generational habits with your children. And honestly, this is where I felt being a married man, where everything comes into play. Grace, patience, the communication, all of that stuff when you have a kid really starts to get balled into one big thing. And more importantly, seeing things from your partner's perspective more than you normally would. You both might be working, so you both might be tired. And with that being said, do not play the tit for tat game. Do not play the I made more sacrifices here than you did, or I did this and you didn't. Do not play that game. Do not play that game when that baby gets here, because that's going to do nothing but make more trouble and cause more problems. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember that y'all had this kid together. The truth is, one person might have to do a little more every now and then. And that's the beauty of understanding the teamwork of parenting. I feel like self-reflection and understanding is very important during this time. So this next part is for the fellas, and I really need y'all to pay attention. Guys, I cannot stress enough how important taking postpartum serious is. Like, postpartum is it opened up a whole new world. It opened up my eyes to a whole new thing about how long women can go through things and just how it makes them feel over time. The most fascinating thing about it is that it looks different with every woman, and the duration is different with every woman. And depending on what's going on in y'all lives, man, it can last a couple months or a couple years. Almost everything about your woman might change. And I need y'all to understand that some of those changes might be permanent. So just be ready to adjust to a lot of things on the fly. Man, give her grace and support her during that time. She might not know how to explain it. There are going to be things going on with her that she just can't get a grasp of right now. You just got to be with her during that time. And ladies, we understand that you go through a lot during pregnancy. We really do understand that. The main thing, we need y'all to communicate with us. We need y'all to open y'all mouth to let us know what's wrong. Communicate your feelings and your needs to your partner. Now, with that being said, I need you to understand that weaponizing your pregnancy is a real thing. Trust me, your man is stressed and tired as well, especially if he's a good man and he takes being a husband and a father seriously. A man that's willing to drop everything that he's doing to make sure that you're comfortable at the drop of a dime is a good man. And nobody can be selfish in this situation because nothing good comes from it in the long run. And an unfortunate hard truth is that some people don't have good partners during this time. It just might be too much. And honestly, I hate that some people have to go through that. On to the next thing. Never stop dating your partner. Just because y'all got married does not mean all the little sweet, nice stuff needs to stop. That has to keep going. That has to keep continuing. Because I can guarantee you that's a big part of why you fell in love with that person in the first place. And it's crazy to have to say that because I see it a lot. I see it a lot with marriages now. Now, little things you do not have to cost a whole bunch of money. They do not have to be extravagant. As simple as continuing to buy flowers every now and then, or having them dropped off at a job, or a kiss soon as you come through the door, or just making sure the house is in order when you come home so y'all can have that quality time together. Because I can guarantee you right now, it's the little things that become big issues later. And if you just happen to notice that these little things stop or they slow down, or you notice that it's really not the same that it used to be, it is so simple as opening your mouth, asking what's wrong, trying to figure it out. Like I said before, communication and comprehension will solve more than 50% of your problems. It's that damn simple. If you know how to communicate, I can guarantee you a lot of these things that you're going through in these marriages can be resolved from a sit down. A sit down and just talking. All right, let's talk about privacy. I cannot stress how important privacy is in a marriage or any relationship. Regardless of what's going on, certain people do not need to know your business. And for the love of me, keep y'all ass off social media when y'all talking about y'all damn relationships, bro. Social media is not the place. Go to a damn therapist, please. Now, I know we have a few friends that we really trust, and that's totally understandable because we all do. We all have those couple few friends we can tell everything. The last thing that you want to do is give your friends and your family a negative image of your partner, right? So now every time you bring them around to a function or you coming out, they can only think about the negative. They can think about the bad behavior or he did this or she did that. They can never think about the good in that partner again. Because the last thing I'm going to do is have somebody looking at my wife sideways based off some stuff that I said. Nah, that ain't going to fly. When it comes to your relationship or your marriage and people ask about it, everything is good. Everything is peachy keen. Give bland answers, give broad answers. Do not go into detail because people do not need to know certain things. I'm telling you that now because it's going to save a lot of y'all in the long run. All right, I'm going to hit on one last thing real quick, but let me get a little closer. All right, we're grown, so we know the difference from right and wrong. We know what should and shouldn't be done to keep a long marriage, to keep that longevity that we want, being married literally until death do us part. You understand that marriage alone isn't the end goal. It's a constant building process, a constant adjustment process, learning process the entire time. Because in the end, it lets you know that you and your partner will always have an understanding that y'all will never go through anything alone. It's always y'all two. With that being said, marriage is a very simple concept when two people have the right mindset. It's very easy. I know this is a super deep topic, and I know I just scratched the surface, but I just wanted to say a few things. And I really wanted to make this video because personally, man, I don't see a lot of young men, regardless of race or ethnicity, man, talking about being married at a young age and actually enjoying being married. And it's something that they want. Now, granted, to the men and women watching, I see what y'all got to work with out there in the dating world. And I do not blame y'all one bit for not wanting to be married. But there are a lot of good people, a lot of good men and women who still want that life. Y'all know I don't like making my videos too long. 10 to 15 minutes for me is probably going to be a little sweet spot. I know y'all don't want to hear me talking all the time. But this is one topic that I feel like I can really talk about all day. Like, I don't know if I want to do a podcast episode or go on somebody's podcast episode to really talk about this in depth for about an hour, but I will if I can. But anything you want to say, put it in the comments. Anything you feel I missed, 'cause I know I missed a lot, put it in the comments. Or just anything you want to hear for like my next video about that, man. Just drop it down in the comments. Y'all know I'm not a bougie creator. I respond to everybody. I respond as best as I can. I try to hit everybody. But as always, I do appreciate y'all watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe if you like the content. I'm gonna keep these videos coming for y'all. Peace.